5 reasons why gluten is bad for some people. Awareness of the negative health effects of gluten has increased in the past few years. One 2013 survey shows that a third of Americans are actively trying to eliminate gluten from their diets. Here are 5 reasons why gluten is bad for some people. 1. Celiac disease is on the rise and most people remain undiagnosed. Gluten is a protein composite found in several types of grains, including wheat, spelt, rye and barley. Gluten consists of 2 proteins, gliadin and glutenin. It is the gliadin part that people react negatively to. When flour is mixed with water, gluten forms a sticky cross-linked network of proteins, giving elastic properties to dough and allowing bread to rise when baked. 2. Gluten sensitivity is much more common and can also have serious consequences. You don't need to have full-blown celiac disease to have adverse reactions to gluten. There is another disorder called gluten sensitivity, or gluten intolerance, which is much more common. Although there is no clear definition of gluten sensitivity, it basically means having some sort of adverse reaction to gluten and an improvement in symptoms on a gluten-free diet. 3. Gluten may cause adverse effects, even in people who don't have gluten sensitivity. There are also studies showing that individuals with neither celiac disease nor diagnosed gluten sensitivity have adverse reactions to gluten. In one of these studies, 34 individuals with irritable bowel syndrome were randomized to either a gluten-containing or a gluten-free diet. The group on the gluten-containing diet had more pain, bloating, stool inconsistency and fatigue compared to the other group. 4. Many brain disorders are associated with gluten and patients see dramatic improvements on a gluten-free diet. Even though gluten primarily works its magic in the gut, it can also have severe effects on the brain. Many cases of neurological illness may be caused and/or exacerbated by gluten consumption. This is called gluten-sensitive idiopathic neuropathy. In a study of patients with neurological illness of an unknown cause, 30 of 53 patients, 57%, had antibodies against gluten in the blood. 5. Wheat gluten may be addictive. There are many people who believe that wheat may be addictive. Getting unnatural cravings for things like bread or donuts is very common. Even though this is far from being proven, there are some studies suggesting that gluten may have addictive properties when gluten is broken down in a test tube. The peptides that are formed can activate opioid receptors,